Okay, today we want to start working with tables, and if you are in my class, this is for Lab 6, and if you're not in my class, we're just going to go over some basic tables that you can learn how to make in HTML. We're going to start out with LiveWeave, and I've opened up just their generic template right here, and so I've got that loaded up, ready to go, and I want to go back and look at my lab. So here's what we're going to do today. We are going to make about 6 different tables, and you can see my examples here. Table 1 will look like this, table 2 like this, all the way down to table 6, and I will help you with the first couple and go over some table basics, and then you will have to figure out how to do the rest of it. So you'll be on your own for some of it. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to do is kind of go over basically how tables work and show you some of the tags that you'll need. I would suggest that you go to W3 Schools and you look up their tables. And in this here, they give you a lot of information, and it will help quite a bit to get what you need to get to do this assignment. Okay, the first thing I want to go through is some of the tags that you're going to need today. We're going to have a table tag, a TH tag that is kind of like the header of a cell. The TR is like a table row, and then the TD, which defines like the cell. Okay, so those are the tags that we're going to use today. This is at the bottom of W3 Schools, but I'm going to go to the top here because they have a really good example right here. And let me show you that here. Here's our opening table tag, and it has a style for a width. Usually the CSS we would do in an external style sheet, but for this example here, we will do it like an inline style. And then we have our table row right here. Okay, here's our header, our TH or like header tags. And then here's like our data cell tags right here, the TDs. And then they close the table here. So let's go ahead and start with this. So we will start by getting rid of what we don't need here in this template. And I can make this window a little bit bigger so we can see a little bit more of it. So I want to go ahead and start with a table tag and a closing table tag. Okay, so in this table tag, we got to get some table rows. And we need some space in between those. So if we wanted to make like a header cell for it, we would do a TH. So let's just do one of those. And this is, we will make the top of the cell, we'll call it first name. Okay, I'm just going to copy this and paste it. And I'm going to put middle. And last. Yes, the middle is not as important. No capital. Okay, so basically that is would be our header. So now we would want cells underneath that. So we're going to do another table row. And in that table row, instead of doing a TH, we're going to do a TD. And in this TD, the first one's going to be our first name. So I'm going to put Joel. And you know what I'll do is I'll just copy this again. I copy it and paste it. You can see we're starting to get our rows right over here. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it a little bit better. And we're going to put in my middle initial, E, and then I'll just put in a fake last name. How about Smith? Joel Smith. Sounds real, doesn't it? Okay, so that's one of our rows. If we wanted to make another one of these, we could always just copy this one and come down here. Whoop. And doing that. Paste it. And then I've got another row, and I can change that. I'll change to my son's name. Noah A. Okay, and then if I wanted to make another one, I can do that, and I'll put in my wife's name. Cheryl L. Okay, so now you see I have some data in here. I've got each of my rows right in there. And if you want to space these a little bit so you just see it a little bit better, you can do that if you want. That's fine. And then I close my table down here. Now, if I want to table borders, because in my labs, we're going to have borders, I'm going to have to change this up a little bit. Now, I'm going to do this in the CSS. And to do that, I've got to determine which elements that I want these attributes to affect. So I want it to affect some of the tags. So I'm going to have it affect the table, the TD, and TR. Okay, and I'm doing my curly cues, just like we do in CSS. Okay, and then I want to put a border. And I'm not sure the syntax with this border on here. I think it is border. Let's try this, and we'll go 1 PT. Okay, that might not be it. Let's see if that works. Border 1 PT. So that's not working. So I'm going to go back and look at W3 schools and see, how do I do a border? Okay, so in the border, I did it right. And they do it in pixels. So maybe can't do it in point. I got to do it in pixels. Let's see if that, oh, I got to give it a color. That's right. So let's try point. And then we got to give it a color. We want it to be solid. And let's make it red. Okay, well, that works. So I do have 1 point on there and it's solid and a red. So that's my border right there. So I have a border on there. I could do other things with this too. If I wanted to make it a certain size, I could go width. I could say 400 pixels, and I could make it a little bit wider. Okay. If I wanted to change the padding, and I could say 1 point, or I could put 1 pixel. Okay, and I could change the padding a little bit, or maybe I could put 10, and that would be a lot different. So you see how it changes this a bit in my CSS. But for our example here, we don't really want to do that because I want this table here to be different from this table. And I could do that several ways, but I don't know that I want to style them all different. So I'm going to do it just a bit different. So we want one table all the way across, and it says table number 1 in there. Okay, so let's do that. And I'm just going to leave this table here for now. We'll delete it later. And so I'm going to go, first I'm going to put a label in here. I'm going to make it an H3, and I'll go table number 1. Okay, so that we have a label there. And then under that, I'm going to create a table. And space there. And then I need some table rows, right? Oops. Okay, and need some space in there. And then I want to just do TDs here. And for that table here, we want to go table, oops, number 1. Okay, we better not make our padding like 10 points. We better change that back because it doesn't look right. And we know that we don't want it solid red. We want it black. Okay, so that would technically solve our problem here, but we got to make this all the way across. And this means that if we do this, then it's going to affect all of our tables up here. So maybe we don't want to do that. So maybe a better solution would be to put some of those styles right in line here with this. And we can do that by just putting style, and I don't remember the exact syntax here. Maybe it's styles equals. Let's see. Yeah, style equals. And I'm going to put width colon 100%. Let's see if that works. Okay, it worked. It worked. So I'm going to get rid of this width because I don't want that there. I don't want it to affect everything. I'm going to have this affect this. We'll just put the widths in here. Or if we put them in here, the width would default here to the style first and then go to that, I think. I think that's how it would work. Okay, oops, we didn't, we do want our table to be black. Okay, so we've got that done. We've got our first table done, the easy one. Okay, and I'm going to make this a little bit more compact. Okay, there we go. So now we want to do another table. But before we do that, we might want to do an H3 label because it's going to be table number 2. And we want to have that on there real quick. And then we want to come back with our actual table. And it's nice, it made us a nice space here. And then remember, we want to have a table row. And we need a space there. Okay, and then we need a TD. And whoop. Let's see, I don't know what I did there. TD, there we go. Okay. And in this TD, let's see what we have to do. We have to have cell number 1. Okay. So we want to go with cell number, and I'm not going to put the 1 yet because I'm going to copy this. I'll copy that right there. Copy it and paste and paste and paste. And then I'll just put my 1, 2, 3, and 4 just to save us a little more time. Okay, now I need this table to be 200 pixels wide. So I might want to come back here in the table tag and put in a style equals. And then I want to put width colon, and then I want to put 200 px. Okay, and if I change this, let's make sure it changes. Make sure it's right. Yep, that's right. So it's 200 px. Okay, so now I've got table 1 and table 2 done. So now I have to go to table 3. And this one's pretty easy because it's essentially just like about what we did here, a little bit different. So you can do that with no problem. Now I do need to get rid of this because we're not doing that. So let me just delete that. We don't need that. We don't need no stinking table there. Okay, so now I need to go back and I need to do my next table. So we're going to do this one right here, and it should look just like this. 400 pixels wide, and then a border of 1. And then your style will be, you could put your style right in line here, right in the table style, right in line. Usually I wouldn't do that. I would use the external style sheet, but in this case right here, it might be easier just to put it in line and to do it like that. So I want you to finish this lab here. I want you to create this table and then this one here that spans 2. Look at that, it's a little different. And then look at this one. It spans 2 rows in the same column here and here. And then this one here, obviously you've got a whole different setup. So please do all those and get them done. I'm not going to give you all the answers. You have to figure out the rest of it. Okay, I think we're good. Good luck. I hope it all works out well, and this is awesome, hopefully, when you turn it in. So I will see you next time. Good luck.